Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people to peaceably assemble, and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Hello everybody, it's Qu'ran here. And if you are unfamiliar with that statement right there, that is the First Amendment to the United States Constitution, which pretty much guarantees every single legal U.S. citizen the right to exercise their religion and to protest, and most notably and most importantly for me, the freedom of speech, which we all know that I love to use. Now, why am I talking about this? Why am I making a video about this at this point in time? Well, coming up is the, 9-year anniversary of the September 11 attacks on the Twin Towers in New York City. And I'm pretty sure you all know about this. If you don't know about it, crawl out from your cave and listen up. Well, I'm not really going to tell you about it because it's too long and everybody believes differently about what happened. So we're not going to go into what really did happen or what people speculate happened. We're just going to say that the Twin Towers were attacked and they're gone now. They're no longer there, along with a few other buildings. So on this anniversary, the 9th anniversary of the September 11th attacks, some pastor in Gainesville, Florida, wanted to start a national Burn the Koran Day. And I'm going to say right off the bat, I agree with him that we should do this. And not because I disagree with Islam, not because anybody disagrees with Islam, but to make sure that every single person in the United States and anywhere else in the world who's keeping an eye on the United States, as it were, is aware that we have the right to free speech and the right to freedom of religion. And if my religion says that your religion is a load of shit, and that I will damn well burn your religious text, then I'm allowed to do it, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. Now, I personally am not a religious individual. If you've watched a few other videos of mine, you would know this, but I don't want to classify myself as any religion or what have you, not atheist, not agnostic. I'm basically a free thinker. If it makes sense to me, and only me, I don't care if it makes sense to you. If it makes sense to me, I'm going to believe it. I've been over this before, and you can go watch Super Cool Storytime Religion if you want to know more of my views on religion. And I don't have enough time in one video to display all my views about religion and, you know, whatever else, but that gives a broad spectrum. My mind is very deep and winding and complex, and I don't think in words, I think in images and videos, and things get all muddled up in the translation, so I'm not good at transferring my thoughts into actual words sometimes, so I end up contradicting myself unintentionally. You know, it just happens. So, I believe that every single U.S. citizen should burn the Koran on this Saturday, September 11th, 2010. Just to remind yourself and everybody around you and everybody around us as a country that we have the right to freedom of religion and freedom of speech. Now, burning a book doesn't really display that, but because so much meaning is placed upon this religious tome, you all think, all Muslims think that it's such a blasphemous act Same with National Draw Muhammad Day. I don't remember when that was. It was earlier this year. But that was such a blasphemous thing that I believe they blocked Facebook in Afghanistan because of it, and I thought that was pretty funny. But people don't understand. Just because you think one way doesn't mean everybody has to think the same way you do. And even if you do think that, there's no reason to get violent about it. Now, personally, I love to argue. I fucking love to argue. I will argue until you either change my mind or I'm dead or just too tired to carry on. But I love to argue, and everybody that knows me knows I love to argue. My parents do, my grandparents do, my friends do. Everybody knows I love to argue, and you know, some of my fans know I love to argue. I just love to do it because I like to, you know, get different views and, you know, push out some of my own. Like, okay, you believe this. Do you know why you believe that? Can you actually back up why you believe it? And if you can't back up why you believe it, why do you believe it? And things like this. I try to push it on people, but I don't try to the point of, you know, accept this or go away. I don't do that. But most religions, it's not just Islam in general. It could be Christianity, Catholicism, any form of Christianity, Judaism. Only a few religions don't condone violence, and I think the only two that I know of are Taoism and Buddhism. Maybe Taoism does or doesn't. I'm not sure. I'm not very adept in that religion. I barely know anything about it, but I know Buddhism. It's, you know, all release yourself of all worldly desire, and, you know, I'm not real sure on that, but I know it's not a violent religion, and, you know, many Muslims will say that theirs is not a violent religion, but I know there are many passages in the Quran that say if somebody is blasphemous in one way or another that you shall kill them or whatever, and, you know, that, to me, killing or assaulting anybody in general is violence. I don't know what violence is to you. Maybe like a full-fledged war. No, violence is another human being assaulting another human being. And now, these are just my personal views, and I'm not trying to force them on anybody, but these are my personal views, and I find them to make sense to me. Whether or not they make sense to you is your own thing, and I'm not gonna force you. But I believe that all religions in existence on this planet are basically like a cancer. It grows and grows and grows, and it feeds off of everything around it. All religions are based in fear.